Hi everyone, it's Carla Gaspar with Flo Mortgage. So today I just want to dive into what kind of documents do you need to apply for a mortgage. So if you watch my first video, you'll know that the most important thing to do is to work on your credit. So you've watched that video, you took my advice, you looked at your credit report, your credit looks great, so now you want your next step. So the next step that we do, we look at income. That's a very important part of it. What kind of documents do you need to bring? Well, it depends on what your work history is like and what kind of job you have. So we're going to start with just a regular W-2 employee. You know, you work for a company, you get pay stubs every week, every 2 weeks, you get W-2s. We are going to want to look at the last 2 years of your W-2s as well as your most recent pay stubs. Those are really the easy ones, you know, those are good. We also look at your employment history, typically because there are always different variations. We look for a 2-year work history. You know, have you worked in the last 2 years? Doesn't have to always be at the same place. You know, you could have switched around, that's fine, as long as you have worked fairly consistently for the last 2 years. Okay, so normally a 2-year work history, pay stubs and W-2s. What if you're self-employed, right? That is a different animal. You know, when you're self-employed, we, again, typically look for your last 2 years' tax returns. We want to look at those returns, and we don't go by the gross income. We don't go by that number at the very top. We look at everything that you've expensed out, and there are some items that we can add in, and then we look at that net. So self-employed is a little bit different. Sometimes we can also go with just the most recent tax return. It really depends on the loan program that we put you in. The other thing too that we see a lot of is, what if you have tip income? What if you tips? What if you get commissions? You know, your sales, you get commissions. What if you have bonuses? You know, these are all called variable incomes because it's not guaranteed. It can fluctuate from year to year. So we also look at those the last 2 years and we average those amounts. So if you're a waitress and you get your pay stub and it's a W-2 and it's a very small amount, but really the bulk of your money is in your tips and those are also on your pay stubs, we're going to look at the average for the last 2 years. So it's really important to get all your documentation together. You want to make sure you have a good work history. You've worked the last 2 years. You've filed your tax returns. If you have any tax money that you owe the IRS, you want to make sure that you've either paid those or you're on a payment plan, something to show the loan officer that, you know, that is being handled. As far as pensions, Social Security, sometimes we have people that are retired. We can also use those. We need your Social Security income, your pension income. We can definitely use those for your monthly income. You know, then the other outlier to all of this is people that are retired. Maybe they don't take Social Security, or maybe it's a small part, but maybe they have a lot in savings. They have a lot in their investments. Can we use those if they're not getting anything else monthly? We absolutely can. Okay, there are different loans called, you know, an asset depletion loan and asset utilization loan. If you have a lot of funds in investments and in retirements and you're not drawing from them, don't think that you can't apply for a mortgage because we can definitely use those. There are a lot of different options. Mainly our W-2 pay stub people are what we see the most. 2-year work history, last 2 years W-2s, most recent pay stubs. Self-employed people, again, last 2 years tax returns. Maybe sometimes we can only use one, but we always want to look at the 2. And I think that's it, really. I mean, whatever documentation you have, send it over to your loan officer so we can take a look at it. Also, one more thing too, you know, you're just out of college, you're a nursing student, you're a grad student, a doctor, you know, and you go and you get this brand new job, you have a contract, you have a great salary, but you haven't worked for 2 years because you were in school. You know, you were learning your trade. Well, guess what? We can use that. We can use your new employment and your new contract because we can prove that you weren't working these last 2 years because you were getting your education in order to get the current job that you have now. So there's a lot of information here, but speak to a qualified, knowledgeable loan officer like me, and I can go through all of that and we can work that out together. So this will be your second step to get ready. Thanks and have a great day.